I love me some dinos. And Oak Street, well, they got dinos over there. If you don't know what The End of Oak Street is, it's a new movie by David Robert Mitchell. And if you don't know who David Robert Mitchell is, well, I don't blame you. He's only got like 2 movies to his name. I love It Follows, but I really love Under the Silver Lake. That's just such a weird fucking movie, and I just love it. And when I saw the trailer of The End of Oak Street, I was surprised that they broke him out of director's jail to make a dinosaur movie of all things. It was a weird turn, but it looked interesting enough, and well, like I said, I just love dinosaurs, and I really wanted to see what he can do with this premise. And it turns out, it's okay. I guess I need to tell you a plot. So it's basically this entire street, Oak Street, the end of it gets transported back in time, and now they got to deal with a bunch of hairy dinosaurs. And while that is a really awesome and neat concept, and it does enough with it, I just don't feel like it does enough to make this something truly memorable. This is one of those movies where I don't really have anything terrible to say about it. I have some really good things to say, but it's just such an okay movie. And that's not to say there's not good things in the movie. There's just some things that I didn't really vibe with. But let me know what you guys thought of The End of Oak Street, and let's see why I thought the way I did. Now let's get into the positive stuff first. The dinosaur designs are pretty fucking awesome. They kind of go along with the theory of like maybe dinosaurs had feather or fur or something. So all of them are real fuzzy, real ugly looking. And the dinosaurs themselves are actually really fucking cool. They don't do the usual like, oh, there's a T-Rex here, or, Velociraptors there. Nah, they introduce some pretty cool ones. Without saying too much, there's this snake dude in the movie, and he's just great. Just slithering about the whole time. And the build up to them was really good. You don't see too much dinos at first, and as the movie goes along, they slowly bring in more and more dinos, different species, different designs, and they all look amazing. And the neighborhood setting lends itself well to some really striking imagery with these dinosaurs. And speaking of that, the cinematography is excellent. Same cinematographer he worked with on It Follows, and he also worked on the Split movies. Everything just looks so goddamn good in this movie. The contrast between the rural areas and the prehistoric ones is just incredible to look at. And even when there isn't really much going on in terms of story, it's just there's always something nice to look at. Not only to look at, but to listen to also, because the soundtrack of this movie fucking slaps. I was wondering who did it, because there's just not a lot of people who can make a soundtrack this excellent. And of course, it's Michael Giacchino, so that made so much sense. And of course, the family at the core of the movie. You see, it's not all sunshine and rainbows for them. You see that, the parents are kind of going through it, and they each have their own little arcs. I will say, Ewan McGregor's did feel a little underbaked in parts. They introduced that he does kind of have like an alcohol or a drinking problem, and it doesn't really lead to much besides some argument scenes, which there is a really fucking good one in here. You just felt what they were going through, and I thought they did that really well. Unfortunately though, I just don't think it develops these characters quite as much as it should, like with Ewan McGregor, but whatever. Speaking of characters, there is like just some random fucking girl who shows up in the movie later. I get that she's set up as somewhat of a love interest, but even when they kind of twist that around and turn it, she's kind of useless at a certain point. Could literally just kind of be out of the movie and it wouldn't really change much. Speaking of characters that just kind of don't do much, there's these bully kids in the movie that you think are gonna be something, and then they're not, and they have a really great scene with them that you think will probably go somewhere, and nothing with that. And speaking of that, I guess we should just talk about like my biggest problem with the movie is that the neighborhood didn't really matter. I guess they had a couple friends, but it's not like they were interacting with any throughout the whole movie. They have reasons for why it is the way it is, why they can't interact with people, why they can't go out, but at a certain point the neighborhood just feels empty. It felt like a fucking rapture happened. Especially just knowing the setting, you kind of just expect a dinosaur movie set in a residential neighborhood to kind of have the neighborhood come together, be a community or something, see them working together or something like that along those lines. And you don't really get that in here. A lot of the time, it is just focused on this family, which, yes, they're the main characters. They're the central point. But there's still a whole neighborhood. And a lot of the time, you just kind of see them getting attacked in the background or just hear things. You don't really see them. This family literally has no fucking friends, and the boys in this family are just fucking chuds, so I could see why. And honestly, all that just kind of makes the neighborhood setting feel more like a cool backdrop than an actual part of the story and narrative. And I just really, like, what's up with those bully kids? Like, just come out of fucking nowhere and then just leave. They just pull up, tear shit up, and I'm like, alright, I'm out of here. I do think an important positive to bring up is that the time travel and, like, time stuff, it easily could have just became mostly exposition, but instead the movie didn't really explain too much, and honestly, it didn't need to. You kind of get what's going on, and I appreciate that it trusts the audience to go along with it. Now, I would say one thing I thought was really weird was the ending, and I'm not gonna say any spoilers. This is spoiler free. The ending just has some weird implications that the movie kind of just plays really fucking straight. Like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of messed up. They did help a couple people, but I mean, like, there's still some people right. Like, come on. Like, I'm trying not to say too much now. I'm not trying to spoil or anything, but it is kind of fucked up, right? Like, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And it just kind of felt bizarre rather than like impactful, which is what they wanted. But overall, I gotta say, great dinosaur designs, amazing soundtrack and cinematography. I think it has a really interesting escalation, great family dynamic. I just feel like it could have delivered more on the premise of dinosaurs being in a neighborhood. And when it is going down, it is really cool. It just didn't do it enough to make it feel memorable. Some of the characters feel really underdeveloped. Some of them feel pointless. And the ending's pretty strange, but I will say, for most of the runtime, I was having a jolly old dino time with this one. But basically, the entire movie is just fine. Not terrible, not amazing, but it's not something you regret watching. It does enough to possibly justify itself, but it doesn't do enough to make you particularly think it's something fantastic. It's probably the most 6 out of 10 movie you could probably get this year, which isn't bad, but it's Spider-Man's still in theaters. But what do you guys think of the end of Oak Street? I feel like it's a little different. I feel like I've been uploading a lot of superhero stuff, and I just actually want to talk about different movies. I don't feel like, this will get me anywhere, but it is different. It is the thing people probably want to hear most about right now, so here you go. I thought it was fine. Also, again, thank you guys for watching my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. I'm trying to get more out. I'm just trying to figure out what I even want to talk about. I'm a lazy bastard. What can I say? And I'm still gonna get content out, and I hope you guys continue watching so that that content could lead somewhere. And if it doesn't, fuck it. I mean, I love talking about movies anyway. I'll always be talking about movies. But like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you again to all my subscribers and whoever decides to subscribe because of these videos. I'll be finding my YouTuber voice soon. I'm sure I don't have a lot of personality now, but I'll get there once I get a little bit more comfortable and find out what I actually want to do. Again, thank you, and see you whenever I upload my next one.